everybody. I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lunnan.
And this is Volume Up by the Tees. So I have some bad news to report. However, there was a product innovation that we all loved that was particularly mocked on Sex and the City. Do you recall what it was?
Yes, because we can't escape it these days. It was a scrunchie. Talk to us about it.
It was a scrunchie.
What's
it
happened?
was the jazzy hair accessory. Yes, it was the jazzy hair accessory. Unfortunately, the creator of the scrunchie has passed away. Her name was Romy Hunt Revson, and she created and patented the Elastic Circle of Wonder in 1994. Holy smokes, right? Right?
It seems like this maybe, I don't know, 1994 seems not very far away, but also is objectively far away. So that feels right. I don't want to get into because I don't want to age myself.
But I'm happy to. So I
happy to age me.
No, age me.
Great.
So in 1994, I was embarking on my sophomore year of high school. And I've got to believe that I feel like I was wearing some sort of elastic tie before then, but perhaps it wasn't patented, or perhaps it didn't have material around it.
Yes.
Gonna have to go back into the archives for that one.
Yes, to dig them up and see what you were rocking around the wrist and in the hair.
We're too young to recall what was happening back then.
Yeah, I couldn't, and I certainly didn't have enough hair for a scrunchie. But no, yeah, sad news. And what an interesting turn. I mean, like everything is back again. And the scrunchie is something we're going to talk about later in the episode because we were writing about it on thetees.com. Because of course we are.
Of course.
But yeah, rest in peace. And when you're rocking your scrunchie today, think of her.
I mean, what a contribution, in all honesty. Like, I would have loved to be like, that was me. So that was me. Anyway, on our last episode, we talked with JCPenney Salon Master Stylist, Dariella Montano. Dariella has 7 years of experience as a hairstylist and 5 years of working for JCPenney. She specializes in all types of hair coloring treatments and haircuts. Her goal is to always cover all of her clients' needs, which we love that, keeping their hair healthy. She talked to us about her journey with JCPenney Salon and her experience and why it is a great home. We also had some fun and did our quick takes in Spanish. And by we, I mean not me, only Jeffrey. I love it when he speaks in Spanish. You're going to want to tune in. So if you also speak Spanish, you have to go listen to that one for sure, or just do it because it sounds wonderful. Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tees, and send in questions in Spanish or English to us at volumeup@thetees.com.
This week, we talked with Jose Rojas, a seasoned color specialist with a penchant for boldness. Jose has worked as a Chicagoland regional training artist for Cuttery family of brands for 2 years and has been with the company for 6. Operating from Cuttery's Hunt Club location in Gurnee, Illinois, Jose strikes a careful balance between creating color perfection, specializing in balayage and vivid applications, and fostering a genuine sense of trust from behind the chair and making every guest look and feel better ultimately about themselves. Jose's most significant professional experience includes his time spent working with the education team at America's Beauty Show in Chicago, where he not only presented his work and helped prep models, but lived out a dream 5 years in the making. We talk all about that. Jose has also participated in events including the World of Dance event with Paul Mitchell and also Chicago's Fashion Week. Get ready.
We're ready.
Things that we should also maybe be ready for. Something that popped up in the shade room. I was watching it unfurl in real time because it was just so wild. The backstory is a client was unhappy with their hair service. They walked out without paying, and the hairstylist called the police, who ultimately made the client pay for the service that they were unhappy about. Lots of hilarity, lots of conversations online, which brings me to Kelly. If you were the client and you just didn't like what was happening or what happened, the ultimate look, what would you walk out? Would you pay? Have you been in a situation? Let's talk about it.
I would say my situation is pretty unique because for about 30 years of my life, the stylist doing my hair was my mom. So You know, the
Mm.
old like, you should cut your hair, or like your bangs are too long. I didn't always have a say in what style was happening, particularly if she's listening. My
Mhm.
mom, when I turned 40, she determined that my hair needed to be shorter. So we went on a journey to just trim off an inch or so. It was many inches. And you want to do that to somebody who just turned 40?
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was hard. That might have been the worst one. So in that episode of her cutting my hair at 40, I would have walked out on it. But anyway,
Wow.
for
But
the
you did.
times that I have
Yeah.
paid to do my hair outside of my family member, I would never do that. I would absolutely never do that to a stylist, even if I didn't like it, because I think it's subjective. I think that
Hmm.
they're doing their best.
Hmm.
I value their
We hope.
expertise. What
Yep.
about you?
So I 1,000% have been in the situation of having a haircut that I absolutely despise. And I think largely having curly hair, like we've
Mm,
talked about this on the
yeah.
pod. This is not news. There's not, I think, sufficient training with
Fair.
curly hair, let alone other textures. Let's be very
Hmm.
clear. I'm a white person. My curl, not that difficult to work with. But yeah, somehow, we get into and people, like, whether it's wet or whether it's dry. So I've
Hmm.
walked out looking like a poodle when there was more, like, and then you just go and you feel your feelings in the
Yeah.
car after you've
Yeah.
paid, and
Hmm.
you maybe go somewhere else,
Yeah.
or
You go
you
some, yeah.
in my case, I've certainly buzzed off hair that I've not liked. But yeah, it would never occur to me to just be like walking out.
Mhm.
I would hope that if I were to walk out, I wouldn't have the police called on me. But I
I
mean,
don't think you'd do that. I just don't think
no, no,
I
no.
don't think you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we want to hear from you guys. I mean, listeners, have you been in a situation where somebody's been this unhappy that maybe they would walk out? Like, we'd love to hear about that, because it sounds like you and I wouldn't be in this
Mm-mm.
position, but I mean, clearly it's happened. The shade room is
Yeah.
proof. Yeah, and I
And
feel like Atlanta can't be the only place where this is happening. So,
it can't. And here's the thing is, like, back to me saying it was subjective. The customer in this instance said they didn't like it because it was too puffy.
yeah.
So I can say, like, my hair is no longer there. It's like not the right color. My scalp is on fire,
Yeah,
burning,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but
Yep,
just
yep,
puffy
yep.
doesn't cut it for me.
Yeah,
Doesn't cut it.
yeah.
So anyway, to that stylist, we got your back. Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about things that are trending on our site, not just on the Shade Room.
Mhm.
Although shout out to them because it's great. Our editorial team has been hard at work this week uncovering industry news, looking into trends, and diving into brands that you don't know, but you should. And here are some of our favorite headlines. First up, what you need to know about the TikTok famous butterfly haircut. Getting a haircut can be exciting or nerve-wracking. We literally just covered this. Perhaps even a little bit of both. However, one haircut that we at the Tees are genuinely excited about, as is the rest of the internet, obviously, is the butterfly haircut. The latest and greatest trend that has taken TikTok and Instagram by storm. It's easy to see why. The style practically screams effortlessly cool, and best of all, it's easy to achieve. Head to the Tees for insight on the insta-famous haircut. We tap some of our favorite hairstylists who are spilling the tea on everything you need to know about how to get the look. Which brings me to Kelly. We're talking
Mhm.
about haircuts. We're talking about transformations. Do I see a butterfly cut for you in your future?
I love it. I love
Oh,
it. I
oh,
love
you
I
love
love
it
the
in the abstract or for
no,
yourself?
for
Oh,
myself. I love it
okay.
for myself, and this is one
Okay.
that I could definitely do. It's got the volume.
Mhm,
You can tell that there's actually a lot of precision cutting with
mhm.
this, just the way that on these particular examples on the tees.com, the hair is falling and moving. And so I love it. I'm going to talk to my stylist about it.
Okay.
I like
The
it.
stylist not being your mom. Great.
Indeed.
To be clear, everybody.
But
All
you
right,
could do it, mom. Mom, you could do it. You're the best. She listens to the pod.
shout out. All right, next up on the tease.com, we talked about scrunchies, and that is relevant to this article. So the article is called Sandy Lang Drops New Nostalgia-Inducing Hair Accessories. Cool kid fashion brand Sandy Lang has expanded its range of hair accessories to include an all-new collection that's very Y2K meets 2022. The brand says the collection is, quote, inspired by princess energy, ballet bows, Sailor Moon, and a little bit of mystery, end quote. 80s and 90s babies, you're going to like what you see. Head to thetease.com for our favorite hair accessories, including scrunchies, elastics, headbands, claw clips, and more from the newest collection. Kelly, we've obviously seen the piece. Our listeners maybe have not. Would you rock any of these items?
I think they're so good. I think they're so good, though, because it's not just the old butterfly tiny clip that's coming back. This is like a little bit of zhuzh or embellishment on something like a claw clip, right? On something like the scrunchie, but in a beautiful petal pattern.
It's so cool.
Well done. I mean, I'm saying well done, Sandy Lang.
Let's make it happen. Let's get you in one of those recital headbands with the super long bows. I can see it.
That probably no. That's the only one that I'm saying no.
Fair. But for the right person, it could work.
Yes.
Cool. Also in the tease, Tanner Fletcher's Spring Summer 23 Spring Fling presentation celebrated inclusivity with its retro hairstyles. This is fresh up from New York Fashion Week. The team, we will be talking with them about what they thought. But one of the articles on thetease.com right now is about genderless clothing label Tanner Fletcher, which brought back high school prom nostalgia in a big way with its dreamlike, quote unquote, Spring Fling New York Fashion Week presentation. The brand's take on the coming of age soiree was a true celebration of inclusivity right down to the hair. During Tanner Fletcher's Spring Summer 23 offering, all of the models rocked hairstyles that honored all genders, textures, and eras. As for the collection itself, it was filled with an intriguing mix of materials, patterns such as floral chenille, printed sequins, and bow and ribbon printed taffeta, all while staying true to the brand's masculine and feminine identity. Kelly, let's talk prom hair for a minute.
Oh,
because they did it right. Like the presentation, all about prom, like the prom hair that we had, thanks to the team at R & Co, looked incredible. And you guys can see it on the tease.com. Would you revisit your prom hair?
You know, I know my hair was really solid. Like it was great. And my choice of dresses for the multiple times I went to prom, also totally on point. In fact,
I'm loving this.
In fact, I think one of them is completely timeless. I shall find these photos.
Yes, let's furnish. We'll produce them for an Instagram story or something.
My mom was always against just the real tight, pulled back updo, which I too am not a huge fan of. And so there was movement, there was texture, there was curl. And so, yes, it was a thing and I love it. I think we need to tease maybe like a tease team prom photo collection. I think would be outstanding. And then finally, kudos to Tanner Fletcher because their presentation was so cool. It was literally a spring fling in the flesh. So check it out on thetease.com. Well done.
Well done. What was not well done? My prom hair. So I don't know. We're going to be seeing it. We will not be, I don't think. Anyway, as always, so much going with thetease.com. Thank you to our hardworking editors. We are proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about.
Next up, Jeffrey talks with Jose Rojas, the Chicagoland regional training artist for Hair Cuttery family of brands. All right, Jeff, I loved his experience and how cool that like his dream was realized. Like he put it out there, he did it. What's next for him? I love that.
Yeah. And I think it was so relatable to hear his experience. I mean, hiding the fact that he was going to cosmetology school from his parents.
Right.
Other people have been in his shoes, I'm sure. I just like all around. Great guy. Great convo. Glad that we had him on the pod. And if you've experienced something similar to Jose, let us know about it. Get in touch with us.
Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.